Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, this is a shocking development. Basically, the Broccolis are out. A while ago, Amazon basically bought MGM and they kind of got Bond, but they didn't have complete creative control. They kind of got in bed with Bond, but they didn't really. Yeah, they were the bottom, and Broccoli was the top, and she was in charge, and they couldn't do anything she didn't want to do, and that was good because she was focused on maintaining the integrity of the character and maintaining the franchise, and she was basically the shepherd. And that's why they were at a standstill for a while because Amazon wanted to exploit the IP because they're just a corporation, mindless corporation with an IP that has value, and they just look at it and go, well, how do we take this thing, which only appeals to a small amount of fans apparently, and mold it into something that we can, sell to the whole general audience and make more money. That's what happens every time. Every time a franchise is bought by someone or the owner retires or dies, like Gene Roddenberry died and lost, Star Trek got lost and is a mess. George Lucas sold, Star Wars to Disney and now it's a mess. Jim Henson died and Disney got the Muppets. It's a mess. This just happens over and over again, and what shocks me is all these people being optimistic and saying, wow, I'm sure they're going to find some visionary to just reinvent it and make it even better than before. And I'm like, where have you been? They're going to end up with a Kurtzman or an Abrams who is just going to ruin it and just drive it into the ground for their own personal financial benefit. And that just seems to be what happens now. IP gets sold to Faceless Corporation. Faceless Corporation hires hacks to just produce the most product possible and try and push it for the widest audience and totally kills whatever made it special or unique and alienates the audience that existed while trying to get their dollars. And I just smell doom. Now, are they going to jump straight into doing a female Bond, having a Jane Bond? Are they going to do a black Bond, an Indian Bond, a Latino Bond? Just make a Bond of every colour and see which ones stick to the wall better? I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll make a mess out of it. Maybe they'll find someone who actually does have a vision and actually manages to make a unique fantasy character just as amazing as the original Bond, the same character, but somehow make him work for contemporary audiences. Maybe I'm just lacking vision. Maybe I've just seen this happen with every other franchise and I'm not stupid, because you don't do the same thing or see the same thing happen over and over again and expect a different result. So why people are expecting Bond being sold out to a corporation working when all the other franchises that have been bought and sold to a corporation have suffered a hideous and torturous, excruciating fate in front of us, slowly dying. So yeah, I mean, I'm not against like a black Bond. I'm not against doing different variants, but you have to sort of give them their own universe, and there has to be room for the original to continue and be maintained, and then do the variants. You can't try and change it, because I mean, I can just see them turning Bond into like an Indian woman and saying, no, she's always been that way and you're just racist because you don't, it's like, no, it was a male fantasy that a whole bunch of men, sat there and looked at this man on screen, the man they wished they could be, and they projected all their fantasies onto this man, and that's why he was a cultural phenomenon and why he's lasted 60 years. And they've slowly taken that away. The last era made him a loser and they killed him at the end. And it's like, yeah, that's what I want to fantasize as a straight male. A loser who dies. That's how they ended off the series. So where can they go from there? I guess nowhere, because, so I'm not optimistic about this. I might have been 5-10 years ago, but now I've seen what's happened to all the other franchises. It's just a horrible syndrome that this sequence of events that we see creators create a franchise, it connects to an audience, they embrace it, they celebrate it, they maintain it, and then someone buys it or inherits it, and then they just come in and try and exploit it for the masses, and they dilute it and ruin it. And it's just sad, because basically we're pretty much one by one seeing all the major franchises that we grew up with that Hollywood had. There were power sort of houses before, all slowly ruined. Very few of them have had any real success and any redeemable, any hope at all. So I'm not optimistic about this at all. And I'm not even a big Bond fan. I've only seen Die Another Day in the cinema because Madonna was in it. And the other Bonds I saw on TV when I was a kid, and I loved them when I was a kid, But then I grew up and I'm like, I didn't connect with the male fantasy because obviously I'm a gay man, so I'm not really, I didn't really, I wasn't projecting onto that James Bond. I didn't want to screw him. I didn't want to be him, so it didn't really appeal to me. But appealed to a lot of people who now, where are they going to be? Because their Bond's not going to be the Bond that they used to. Well, he isn't now, but he's not going to return to that Bond, which is what we were hoping was going to happen. That Broccoli was going to steer them back in the right direction, but she just gave up. She took a check, and she just gave them creative control because I guess she just figured no one's going to make the original Bond the true Bond anymore, so either we let it die or we give it to someone else and just wash our hands of it and let them destroy it, and then it's their fault. But I'm going to go. For share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the future of Bond. I'm thinking it's like RIP territory at this point, but we'll see. It'll all unfold in front of us.